Wolverines had already beaten Kansas, North Carolina, and Purdue. Now they were trying to keep Bobby Knight from his 500th win as coach at Indiana. This one at Chrysler Arena. And in the second half, 43-40 Indiana, but Chris Webber goes from one end to the other. Nice fake. And the Hoosiers leading only by one. Webber got the crowd into this and then got his team into the lead. Throwing the three-pointer there. Bobby Knight wondering who would answer for Indiana. How about Damon Bailey going to Calbert Chaney, who throws up a three-ball. Chaney had 20 points. Indiana a 2-point lead. 1:45 to play. Michigan leading by one. Here's Alan Henderson hitting the jumper. He had 22. Indiana up one. 14 seconds left. Todd Leary on the line, but a lane violation called by the referee. Bobby Knight argues, loses the argument, giving Michigan a chance. James Voskill, the three-pointer, and then Henderson does the job on Webber, keeping him from the follow. Big defensive play, and Bobby Knight does get that 500th win at Indiana as Henderson helps him do it defensively and offensively. Jalen Rose had 19. Webber did have 18.
He's thinking of switching professions. Danielle Marshall head to Scott Burrell. UConn up by one. They love it in Hartford. Pittsburgh gets going. Eric Mobley finding Chris McNeil for the easy one. Hit up by 5 with just over 2 minutes to go, but the Huskies fight back. Trailing by 3. Brian Fair comes up with a loose ball. He'll spot up for the 3. This kid can shoot. That's why they recruited him. Tied up. Last chance for Pitt. We're tied. 78-0. Chris McNeil. The miss. But Antoine Jones, nobody boxed him out. I said Antoine Jones. And Pittsburgh wins their first road game of the year. They're 10-2 on the season, 3-2 in the Big East. UConn drops to 7-3, 2-2. Also in Big East play.
Well, it's only been 5 years since the Wildcats took the court, #1 in the nation, on the road in Music City against a good Vandy team that started 10-0, but's fallen out the top 25 with 2 consecutive losses. Would there be more miracles in Memorial Gym? Well, after a close first half in the second half, Dan Hall started it. Vandy was handling the press very well. Off the turnover, well, first of all, you see Jamal Mashburn with the hoop, and now you'll see more good defense from Vandy, but Travis Ford breaks that defense with an outside 3. But watch Ford get over-aggressive and pick up his 4th foul. And he almost picked up a technical foul. Rick Pitino had to pull him out of the way. Cats up 1, and Vandy comes back. That's Dan Hall inside for a dunk. What a game for Billy McCaffrey. He had 14 assists, including that one to Kevin Anglin for 2. Then McMahon with the hoop off the acrobatic running Jay, and time was running out on Rick. Look at the fans. Swarm the court. Big upset for Vandy. Guess Kentucky will know what George Bush feels like, being a lame duck #1 this weekend. Vanderbilt wins by 15. McCaffrey, 22 to go with the school record 14 assists. The Rogers neighborhood, Wake Forest, 33-all at halftime, but what an explosion for Duke. Cherokee Parks and Company, first 14 of the second half. Then Bobby Hurley from the outside drains a 3. He came out of a shooting slump in a big way against Dave Odom's team. And on the defensive end, quickness. Bobby with the steal starts the break the other way. Grant Hill will close it out off the terrific pass. Duke leading by 15. Remember, Bobby got caught with that nasty pick against Georgia Tech on Sunday. Well, he wanted to make sure he played well, and 5th-ranked Carolina in Chapel Hill. Good start. James Forrest off the Travis Best feed. Tech out early. Big night, though, for Derek Phelps Jr. out of the New York City area. Watch him go all the way. And here's the key to this play, the head fake. Got the defender up in the air and a 3-point play. Carolina by 5 at the break, and on the defense, off the double team. Heinrich Rodel the steal, but pass to Phelps, the easy dunk with the left hand. And watch Phelps take one away from Travis. Look at the dribble right there, behind the back. Gets past James Forrest for the hoop, a season-high 20 for Phelps. George Lynch also had 20 and 11 boards. Good win, good game, too.
State's all-time victory leader watching Chris Wyszynski on the alley-oop. The Spartans hit 10 of their first 10 shots, and then Sean Respert, the no-look to Eric Snow, who finishes. Sean Respert getting some respect with the 3-point shot that goes. Spartans lead by 10 at halftime, and then Eric Snow takes it himself. Spartans win it by 17. Ohio State just 1 of 15 from 3-point range. Respert scoring 22 with 5 assists and 4 rebounds. Haskins looking for his 100th win with the Gophers. Vashawn Leonard hits the 3. Minnesota up 5. Then Townsend Orr is fouled on the 3. That's a 4-point play. Minnesota leading by 1. But Val Barnes bringing Iowa back, hanging and hitting. Iowa leading 38-34 at halftime. Then A.C. Earl working the offensive board from the left baseline. Then down the lane, he tips it in. He had been struggling his last 2 games offensively, but stayed right with this for the high percentage. 48-41 Iowa. Then off his own missed dunk, Earl converts the layup. Iowa pulls out to a 64-53 lead. All smiles for AC Earl, 19 points and 13 rebounds out of his slump. Val Barnes helped out with 16. And Iowa, the Big Ten's most accurate free throw shooting team, made 39, breaking their arena record of 37 set last year against Minnesota. In other games, Clemson against Virginia. Cornell Parker hits the shot. He had 20, and Jeff Jones' Cavs led 24-3. Ted Jeffries with a 15-footer. He had 14. UVA up 41-16 at halftime. And then Parker hits again as the Cavs remain unbeaten, 182 the final. Wisconsin at Purdue. Gene Cady had the fire burning for the Boilermakers. He always does. No restraining Glenn Robinson. Misses, but goes right back to it and gets it to go, scoring 31 points. And Robinson starting it with defense. Matt Painter, the over-the-shoulder pass back to Robinson. Purdue winning at 76-60. DePaul at number 20, Georgetown. A tough one for Joey Meyer. Tom Kleinschmidt the three, but relaxes after the shot. Doesn't play D, and Joey Brown blows by him for the layup. Georgetown had its way. Othello Harrington with a slam dunk. Harrington 16 points. The Hoyas win it 74-45. St. John's at Villanova, the new coaches clash. Steve Lappas and Brian Mahoney with St. John's. Tied up late, David Kane drives and is able to get it off the glass. He had 23. Lappas hoping for the comeback, but Lee Green with a steal and slam dunk. Lee Green leads the Red Men to a 76-70 win. In other games, Cincinnati a winner, 72.
Each guy setting his team out to the line for threes. Bryant Van with one there. Then Nebraska, Eric Strickland, 3 straight threes. The Huskers get within one. Then they pull away and take a lead. As a matter of fact, when Andre Woolridge hits this one, the Huskers lead by 9. They led by as many as 12. Big play here. Terry Evans hit the three and was fouled. A 4-point play. Oklahoma by 5 at the break. Then more Evans. Friendly rim for 29, a season high. Turnovers killed Nebraska. One there, Bryant Van. Finishing with the left-hand dunk. He had 18. Danny Nee takes a knee and takes a loss. Sooners win big 102-89. Oklahoma blew a halftime lead Monday. They erased Roberts. This got ugly. Rex Walters, the three. The backcourt was dominant. Here's Adonis Jordan. Look, 24-4 early. You want more? More would follow. Patrick Ritchie in for the uncontested dunk. He had 23. And here, another dunk, a 23-0 run. It was 75-29 at halftime. No starter played over 16 minutes. The bench, Greg Gurley, the Gurley man with the layup. Then Calvin Rayford to Blake Welchbrot for 2. Then T.J. Watley. Everyone played. The bench scored 82. Oral Roberts, 72 for the game. Kansas wins by 68, second highest point total in Hawk history. The record was 150. The team taking on Washington, Joe McClain. Nice feed to Ed Stokes. Stokes, 8 of 11 from the field, 18 points. Off the bench, McClain, the strong drive of his own. He had 14, and one more nice pass from McClain. This one to Damon Stoudemire. Tough hoop in traffic. Acrobatic shot as Arizona wins pretty easily, 93-76. They dominated Washington's depleted big men. Rich Manning, the center, back from a knee injury. Butler off the miss. It's Ed O'Bannon, who's been playing very well. In traffic, the rebound. He broke his nose a couple of weeks ago. He's playing well with that mask. It hasn't bothered him at all. O'Bannon had 21. And on the break, Sean Tarver with the easy lay-in, and UCLA wins easily, 99-87. Tarver had a season-high 23 to go with O'Bannon's 21. The Bruins are 2-1 in.
Assisting to Alfred Grigsby, who sticks it. He had 19. Cal up 42-28 at the half. Mike Montgomery not happy at all. Second half, another assist from Kidd. Where was the defense? How about here? Watch Kidd on Deion Cross, waiting and slapping it away. Outstanding. And then Kidd the alley-oop to Lamont Murray for the jam and the foul. 24 points for Murray. Montgomery not smiling as the Golden Bears take it 83-66. So they're 8-3 now, 2-1 in the Pac-10. Freshman Deion Cross led Stanford in scoring with 18 points. Just the second win over Stanford in the last. A flu-stricken Johnny Orr. Fred Hoiberg hits 12 points in the first half. Iowa State by 13. Oklahoma State down 45-31 at halftime. Second half, Julius Mikulik with a swipe and the long pass to Justice Thigpen. 58-44 Iowa State. Here comes Oklahoma State. Randy Rutherford baseline. Cowboys get within 4. 23 seconds left. Rutherford stripped by Mikulik, who passes to Ron Bayless. He had 15, and Iowa State wins it. Jim Hallahan is 5-0 and filling in for Johnny Orr.